to On the Couch with Katie. This is a space where we talk about mental health and well-being in a way that is real, relatable and just a little bit cozy. Now, today's episode we're going to be talking about how to build a mental health first aid kit or toolkit. Now, many of us at home have our own first aid kit filled with antiseptic, plasters, bandages, whatever. But what is a mental health first aid kit, and how can we put tools in place to help us when perhaps grief, anxiety or low mood overwhelms us? Maybe it's good to have things in our back pocket there to help us when things feel like just a little bit too much. So, as I said, a mental health first aid kit is a personal collection of tools, practices and reminders that help soothe your emotional and psychological wounds. Now, that being said, each mental health first aid kit is going to be subjective and specific for you depending on what you need and what you respond to best. It's for the moments when anxiety spikes, grief crashes in, or everything just feels too much. Now, I like to refer to it as my own emotional safety net. So it's something that I turn to when I'm not feeling quite okay. And if you need something solid, something real to help you find your centre. It's good to have these so that things don't completely overwhelm us. It's not about turning to them when you're in full-on crisis mode. It's about using it along the way so that things don't become completely overwhelming. The key is intentionality. If you build it before, it helps you to be able to ride the waves when they hit, and it means that you already have something to hold on to. So, let's be real. Life can get hard sometimes. Sometimes we wake up and we're already tired. Sometimes anxiety walks in before our feet even hit the floor, and sometimes heartbreak, burnout or loneliness show up like an uninvited guest. And in these moments, it can be so hard to think clearly. Our nervous system is in fight or flight, our inner critic is so loud and logic is completely out the window. So that's why we need our pre-prepared mental health kit. Now, it doesn't fix everything, it just helps. It helps to bring regulation and it reminds you of who you really are when the storm feels just that little bit too loud. Okay, now let's talk about the good stuff. What can we do to build our mental health toolkit? Now, this will be different for everyone, as I said. But I'm going to walk you through 8 different types of items that will hopefully inspire you. Grab a pen if you want to jot them down and reflect about what you think you might need. The first thing I'm going to refer to is a comfort object. Now, this could be different for everyone, but it might include a soft blanket for when you're at home, a stress ball, a weighted item. Now, I have a weighted blanket at home and it is the best thing that I ever bought. It could be a favourite hoodie that you wear when things are getting a little bit too much, or maybe even your childhood teddy. It can be something that brings physical grounding to you, that you can hold on to quite literally when things get too much. The second thing is, more specifically, a calming toolbox, and this can have a variety of different subcategories. This could be deep breathing prompts, perhaps it's an app on your phone or a video that you've seen, or even just a step-by-step guide on how to take deep breaths when things feel a little bit too overwhelming. It could also be a short guided meditation that goes hand in hand with these deep breathing exercises. Often people also want to refer to sensory objects. Now, this refers a little bit to like the comfort item we talked about before, but it could be something that smells nice, that feels nice and helps us tune in to our senses. Now, I actually keep one of those Olmus inhalers, other brands are available, in my pocket. Not the medicated type, just the ones that are eucalyptus scented oils. So that when I'm out and about and things feel a little bit too much, maybe I'm stressed about something that's about to happen, or I can feel panic starting to rise, I stop, take it out of my pocket and take a deep breath, inhaling that nice smell. That smell makes me feel safe and it makes me feel able to tackle the next few steps of my day. Now, that might not be the smell for you. I have other friends that have scented perfume that remind them of a friend or family member. They have a lip balm that they really like. I've also in the past used lavender oil, which is a perfect essential oil for feeling relaxed and calm. Whatever it might be, think about what your favourite smell is, or maybe something else that makes you feel connected to your senses, and maybe see if you can keep it in small quantities on your person at all times. In a previous episode, we also talked about grounding techniques. So maybe it's about always knowing in the back of your mind that you can do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. This could mean tuning into our senses by looking around the room or our nearby area and thinking, what is 5 things I can see, 4 things I can touch, 3 things I can hear, 2 things I can smell, and 1 thing I can taste. By having that at the back of your mind, it's something that you can always refer to in a time of crisis. These can help regulate your nervous system and feel as though you're ready to take those next steps. Another thing we can also have in our toolkit are personal affirmations. These can be kind words or self-affirming mantras inside our brain that can help speak to our anxious self. Some of these could be, you've survived 100% of your hardest days. This is just a feeling, it's not a fact. You are worthy of rest and care, or I am enough. Could also be, I can do this, whatever you feel you need to hear in that moment. Now perhaps writing these down on your phone or just keeping them tucked away somewhere in the back of your mind, and pull the one forward that is necessary to your current situation. I also find it particularly helpful to record them into the voice note app on my phone, so that if I ever feel overwhelmed, perhaps on public transport, I can put my headphones on and listen to them. And then I can feel disconnected, almost as if it's a friend or family member telling me those things. But at the end of the day, I know that that's my voice and that there's a time where I believed that and I can believe it again now. It's also really good to have crisis contacts. These could be 2 or 3 people that you trust and that you know care about you, maybe a friend or a family member or other loved one. But also for more severe crises, this could be mental health hotline numbers or your therapist's info if you have one. When you're in distress, it helps to have that list ready so that you feel less alone and feel able to communicate how you're feeling and open up. I know that it's really nice to have my mum at the end of the phone if I'm feeling too overwhelmed when I'm in public, or even when I'm at home and things just feel a little bit more overwhelming. Sometimes a calming voice is just what you need to hear. And finally, it's good to have distraction tools. Sometimes we just need to change the channel in our mind and tune into things that take us away from the things that are causing us stress in our mind. Personally, I really like to paint or colour. There has been a resurgence in the latest media about the importance of adult colouring books or paint by numbers, which I personally love. I also have a list of comfort television shows or films that always bring me joy and comfort when I feel a little bit overwhelmed. Mine personally is Modern Family and the film Legally Blonde, but others are available for all. I also find as well that puzzles can be really helpful. Games on my phone can help me distract myself, or sometimes just a Sudoku book or maybe even a crossword. Sometimes it can be good to watch funny videos that always make you laugh, or maybe listen to your favourite podcast or well-being related show. Yes, of course, you can add this one. I also am a strong believer in the fact that music is extremely powerful. Maybe it's important to make your own playlist of calming music or music that reminds you of a time where you felt happier, more joyful, or even just less stressed. Sometimes as well, it can be good actually to have one that can feel like a release. So maybe a playlist that makes you feel like you can cry to, or do exercise along to, so that you release negative energy in other ways. Maybe there's also one that you can create for dancing so that you can gain endorphins and really shake out that negative energy. It's also good to have journal prompts. Now, I find journaling really helpful. We talked about this in a previous episode when we talked about releasing anxiety. Maybe there are a few go-to journal questions that you can go to when you're not sure where to start. This could be, what do I feel I need right now? Or, what's one small thing I can do to care for myself? What would I say to a friend who felt this way? Or even, what am I grateful for in this present moment? By tuning into ourselves, we can see what we're experiencing, how we're feeling, and what we really need to move forward. And then finally, it's also good to have perhaps something memorable or nice photos to look at in a time of crisis. Pictures of people you love, pets, or places where you felt peace can really help bring a feeling of calm to a state of overwhelm. Visual reminders of connection and joy can help reduce mental distress. So, you've built your mental health toolkit now. What now? Don't just store it and forget it. Practice using it when you're just feeling a little bit off, maybe just a little bit fatigued after a busy day at work. Don't only use it during a full-on meltdown. Make sure you practice putting it into a daily habit. Let your brain associate these tools with safety so they're even more effective during the big waves. You might also keep it somewhere visible. Check in on it regularly at different intervals, maybe every week, every month. You could update, remove things, or even add things. You can also share with a partner or a friend what's in it, so that perhaps if you don't think to go to your toolkit, a friend or family can go, what can we do? What's in your toolkit and what can we use? Now remember, this kit isn't magic. It doesn't erase pain, but it just gives you anchors to feel more grounded and more at peace. Now, before we wrap up, I want to remind you, making a mental health first kit is an act of love, self-love, and giving back towards yourself. It says, I matter, my pain matters, I'm worthy of care even from myself. Now you don't need to build it all at once. Start with 1 or 2 items and let it grow with you as you grow. And hey, if this episode helped you, share it with someone else that you love. Maybe even build your kits together. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of On the Couch with Katie, all about mental health toolkits. Make sure you let us know what is in your mental health toolkit. And as always, if you need further support for your mental health, then look in the bio below and you can find different resources and mental health support lines to give you further help. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.